My board usually should laugh at that, but swearing in a couple of firefighters tonight, and that's always a marvelous thing. We'll acknowledge Gurmeet for his 5 years in his business, and our Sikh friends. And if you've noticed the signs outdoor, we are a welcoming community to all, so it's nice to have you all come. And I have a proclamation. I don't know if I have enough for everybody, but please come forward when I do read that. I still have 2 minutes, and the clerk is going to keep me out of trouble. You're going to try?
Welcome, Tom.
A regular Tom came in the door. Happy must be running. He was calling me on my phone. I couldn't hear him. All right. Anybody have a pen?
I don't. I haven't seen it. Somebody stole it.
Thank you.
sir.
That'll work. All right. I'm all set.
All right, sir. Will you?
It's 7 p.m. and I'd like to call the meeting to order. The Village Board meeting of April 20th, 2023, 7 p.m. We have a full house. Christy, if you would please call the roll.
Trustee Kemper?
Here.
Trustee Bancole? Here. Trustee Prigi?
Here.
Trustee Husani?
Here.
Trustee Gutierrez? Here. Trustee Porter, are you on the phone? No, he's not. Okay.
Did he respond?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't hear him
We'll add him when he
when he gets
appears.
Yes.
And I was looking for Happy, and I think he just came in the door. If you all would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ready?
Trustee Porter here. I couldn't unmute.
Thank you, Trustee Porter.
Welcome
Yes,
aboard,
I'm here. I
Trustee.
just couldn't unmute. Thank you.
Very good. We're all here.
Great.
Like I say, when I go visit the first graders, we're all in our places with sunshiny faces. All right. Have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
The motion, did I have a second?
Yes, Prigi.
Okay. Any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Presentations. Swearing in of firefighter, paramedic. Are you ready? We'll bring up Sergey, that's it. Kalenic, all right. This is the painful. You have other things? No. That's all I need. That's all you need. Good man. Good staff, they know where I'm on and off. He has proven himself to be a distinguished member of the department, providing excellent service to the community and working hard to maintain the high standards of this organization. Firefighter Kalenic holds a bachelor's degree in math from North Park University. He completed his basic firefighter operations through Romeoville Fire Academy and will complete his paramedic training through Malcolm X Paramedic Program in May. Firefighter Kalenic has been assigned to Gold Shift under the command of Battalion Chief Cody. Good choice. You've been on department a lot.
1 year.
1 year. I'm glad you hung around. I state your name.
I, Sergey Kalenic,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of firefighter paramedic
the duties of the office of firefighter paramedic
when you become a paramedic to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Was it blood-free?
It was.
Oh, man.
Success.
Before you go,
We take a picture. Sorry, he knows the drill.
you know the routine. Okay. Okay, Lieutenant. Thank you. All right. The big question. Firefighter. Cubs or White Sox?
Cubs.
All right. It's a tough job when you have to answer questions like that. Joshua Swanson. You can bring up your whole family if you like.
I don't think we have enough space.
I love doing this. Good to see you. Firefighter paramedic Swanson is being promoted from a part-time position to full-time status. Firefighter Swanson was originally appointed as a part-time firefighter EMT on October 4th, 2021. He has proven himself to be a distinguished member of the department, providing excellent service to the community and working hard to maintain the high standards of this organization. Firefighter Swanson completed his basic firefighter operations through Romeoville Fire Academy and will complete his paramedic training through Sherman Hospital's paramedic program in June. Firefighter Swanson has been assigned to Black Shift under the command of Battalion Chief Jasper. Jasper's back there taking photographs tonight. Welcome aboard. I got Swansons all over the place in my family.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, my grandmother was a Swanson and my daughter married a Swanson. There we go. We're full of Swansons. Okay. Raise your left hand.
Your right hand. Raise your right hand.
Raise your right hand.
Left hand.
This is Hanover Park. We do it till we get it right. And we have some fun with it. I state your name.
I, Josh Swanson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of firefighter paramedic
the duties
Looking good.
Take one of those, and whatever else you guys want to come on. Absolutely.
Bring them all, it'll be fun.
Okay, everyone here for Josh, come on up. Quick, quick, everyone, come on up.
It's so fun. It's fun. It's absolutely fun.
Danny.
Come back here.
Did we get everybody in?
We don't need to be
We're breaking a record here. Don't get hurt. Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Stay back, draft.
1, 2, 3. Wonderful, thank you.
He's locked up.
Oh, you're so welcome. Absolutely. That's okay, that's Which one are you going to prepare?
Sorry, no.
One more picture. Once Josh is done.
Oh, I will just play.
One more photo.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, big question is, Joshua, Cubs or Sox?
Whoever's winning.
Who's ever winning?
Oh, that's all right. That's just my That's perfect.
I think Joshua is a politician. What do you think? It was nice that you all came for Joshua this evening. Absolutely love it. Who's ever winning?
I'm indifferent.
It's okay, Josh. Okay. Anybody else in the family want to fill up?
That should be it.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
So one of our residents started a business 5 years ago. And Gurmeet, if you would join me. Whereas Abhut Media was started on March 24th, 2018. Come on, come on. Don't be shy.
Thank you.
I don't know you to be shy. Gurmeet Dhawan, and whereas Abhut Media is a media company for all communities, including those that speak English, Hindi, and or Punjabi, and whereas they have office based in Hanover Park, Illinois, in northwest suburbs, and whereas Abhut Media has grown into a global media organization,
Thank you.
you become an international
Thank you.
conglomerate.
Thank
Oh
you,
my
sir.
goodness, all from Hanover Park. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Where was I? Whereas starting by covering business and financial news and have expanded to cover local issues, art, culture, lifestyle, real estate, sports, personal health, and more. And whereas their digital form encourages participation and continuation across all platforms so readers can engage with them anytime. And whereas Abhut Media also gives back to the community by organizing events with media partners and providing support for unprivileged children and families worldwide. Whereas Abhut Media has grown an organization that has individuals that work together as a team. Now, therefore, I, Rodney S. Craig, President of the Village of Hanover Park, do hereby join Abhut Media in celebrating 5 years of excellent journalism and wish the team many more years to come. Gurmeet, thank you. There you are. Can we get a photo? Okay. Gurmeet has asked that Syed join us. Syed, do you mind? Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Meet those boards. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I won't ask him about Cubs or Sox. He probably wouldn't know what I was talking about.
I have to come back again, right?
Okay. So, tonight I also have proclamation recognizing the Sikh organization. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what you call your place of worship. I'll get it yet. And I'm going to accept an invitation to come on a Sunday. Are you ready for me? Oh. Well, you know, the mayor can be a bit much. So I'm pleased to acknowledge I have a few proclamations to share. So who would like to come up? If you all want to come up, that's fine. You're all welcome.
Why not?
Stand behind me.
Come on.
Who will speak for? Okay.
Don't push her.
So I will, happy you're with me? Okay. You don't have, okay. Whereas Hanover Park, okay, we're getting there. Okay. Is Joshua buying you all dinner tonight? Anyway, whereas Hanover Park and our nation are blessed and enriched by the unparalleled diversity of our residents, and whereas the Village of Hanover Park is committed to educating citizens about the world's religions and value of religious diversity, tolerance grounded in First Amendment principles, a culture of mutual understanding, and dominion of violence. Whereas today the Village of Hanover Park seeks to further the diversity of its community and afford all residents the opportunity to better understand, recognize, and appreciate the rich history and shared experiences of Sikh Americans. Behind me, next to me, with me. Where did I end up here with Sikh Americans? And whereas Sikhism is the 5th largest religion in the world, and today there are more than 25 million Sikhs worldwide and estimate 500,000 Americans of Sikh origin. Whereas Sikhism is an Indian religion that originated in the Punjabi region of the Indian subcontinent around the end of the 15th century by Guru Nanak.
Guru Nanak.
Nanak?
Yes.
Sikh means learner in Punjabi. Very good. And whereas one of the core beliefs of Sikhism is Guru Nanak's teaching against discrimination and prejudice due to religion, race, caste, or status. And whereas Sikh Americans come from many walks of life and pursue diverse professions, making rich contributions to social, cultural, and economic vibrancy of the United States, including services as members of the United States Armed Forces. They have made significant contribution to our great nation and have distinguished themselves by fostering great respect among all people through faith and service. Now, therefore, I, Rodney S. Craig, President of the Village of Hanover Park, do hereby proclaim April as Sikh Heritage Month and urge all residents to better understand recognize, and appreciate the rich history and shared experience of Sikh Americans. So I'm very pleased to share this, probably one to the President and one to you, sir.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Gurmeet, you got your hands out? I guess you're one, huh?
Yeah, always.
So I have a couple more. Who would I share that with? Happy? Yes, sir. So you would like to say a few words?
Yes. Greetings. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. That is a Sikh greeting. Thank you, Mayor Rodney Craig, for this opportunity. On behalf of the Sikh American community of Hanover Park, America's global village, I would like to thank all the trustees who passed this resolution to give this recognition and honor to us. Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month of April, which is in the whole state of Illinois also. I also like to recognize Hanover Township Assessor, Khaja Moinuddin here. Thank you so much for your support. We are really grateful that during Sikh Awareness Month, Sikhs are recognized not only for their rich faith traditions, but also for many contributions to our nation, to our state, as Honorable Mayor mentioned. And this recognition helps promote public awareness about us, because to combat some hate crimes, prejudice, and bigotry due to ignorance about our external appearance and who we are, because a lot of people don't know who we are. As it was mentioned, Sikh faith is about 550 years old, fifth largest religion in the world, and about 27 to 30 million people worldwide. As you know, India has about 1.4 billion people, and 2% of India's population is the Sikh, which makes us about 28 million right there. We are about 500,000 in the US and maybe about 25,000 or so in Illinois. And I would like to repeat, I did that last year also, that my first home was in Hanover Park. I moved in here in 1976, and the Wood Lake Trail area where it was all farmland and there was nothing else, but I'm still in the area here. The basic belief of our faith is oneness of divinity and oneness of humanity. And that there's only one creator, one divine creator. People have different names for it. And of the whole universe, and all human beings have the potential to realize him. It's not that only certain people realize God, others can't. No. Everyone has the potential to do that with devotion, truthful living, and service to humanity. Sikh values, of course, are equality and justice for all, just same as our Pledge of Allegiance that we all did. Sikhs are guided by their scripture, Guru Granth Sahib, which contains teachings of the Sikh gurus, and about 30 of other saint scholars known at that part of the world at that time, irrespective of what their religion was, what class they came from, what was their caste, all those things. So it was an interfaith type of religious book, scripture, which is our guru, our teacher, our spiritual teacher. And Sikhs have a distinct external appearance with 5 articles of faith, which they all start with the letter K. I won't go into the details, but main one that you can see is Kesh here, our beard, turban, and all those things. And that distinguishes us from many other people, and people don't know who we are. And the reason we have to do all those things is that after 9/11, the first person who was shot dead in Mesa, Arizona, he was a Sikh. And because he was mistaken for, somebody else. Well, I won't want to go through too much. By mindful of God, everything you do, and serve humanity without discrimination, that we are not only serving our community, but everyone whosoever comes here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for this proclamation, and thank you all, Hanover Park, all the trustees, and all people here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for all these Hanover Park board members. I just want to let you know two things. There's an outside exhibition of the 6 serving in world wars. You can see that, take the pictures of the 6, my ancestors serving in World War I and World War II. I want to let you know that 6 have been around here more than 120 years. There was a gentleman named Bhagat Singh Thind, who served in World War I in the US Army with this identity. So you need to look up that we are not just around the corner, our ancestors have been here. Second, if you go back the history, Congressman Dalip Singh Soond was elected the first Asian congressman, first from India, first a Sikh congressman in the California. In 1956, he was elected 3 terms. We are making a documentary on that so the people can see who are the Sikhs, what he has gone through. Our ancestors also served in the farmings, in all the industries. Now you can see we a lot of professional doctors, engineers, but our ancestors came 100, 120 years ago. They did all these odd jobs for us to build up the America. Just want to give you a little bit of history that we are not just new around the block, but it's been there so long. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So if you all would like to get a photo together? Yes. Get a photo, everybody take a step back? Yes.
Let me organize everyone.
Okay. Do we get everybody in?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. If you all would meet my board, please. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kaja, where are you going? Trying to get out of time?
You will get.
We're good. You don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting. Joshua, you can take your family home. You're gonna buy them dinner, right?
That's all.
Yeah. The meeting gets boring from here, this point out. So if you, please feel free to go on your way. Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. All right. All right.
Just a little bit, right?
Yeah, we got it. Mr. Bruce.
Somebody left their street sign.
It's all right, we'll do that later.
Thank you.
Good evening, Bruce.
Good evening. I'd like to congratulate your mayor on his incredible stewardship at the dog egg hunt. My wife was really impressed. And I'd like to once again thank Trustee Gutierrez and Trustee Bancole, the two trustees that really responded to my emails. This feels very anticlimactic. I don't have anybody else here with me. I just want to, I will give you something that I wrote in appealing the ordinance and asking for an exemption, but more than myself, I have neighbors. It's a young Serbian couple with 2 children. They have a truck and live in the corner of our cul-de-sac. And they picked that house, they just rent it, that's all they can afford. And they rented it because they felt he needs his truck to work every day, and they felt that being in the corner of a cul-de-sac, they would be safe to be able to park his truck in their driveway, which he does. And I know they had a adjudication hearing on Tuesday, but they're on the they'll probably have to move because they can't live without their truck. So if there's some way, I know what the ordinance says, but if there's some way that they can be exempted, I'm not asking you to change the ordinance, but some way that they can be exempted and allowed to park his truck. I know the motto is always we serve and protect, but I don't see who in the world it would serve or protect to have them to have to move out of Hanover Park because he couldn't park his truck in the corner of a cul-de-sac. So I'll hand you all the details.
You can share that with the clerk, and
Right.
the board can review that.
Okay.
Okay.
But I really, even beyond myself, I'm in the same situation, but I'm really appealing for them. They're very innocent, wonderful people, and if there's some way that they could be allowed to park their truck in their own driveway, I would be most grateful to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So anticlimactic, though, after all that, you know.
If you'd like to share that with the clerk.
Did you want to, do you want me to take that now, Bruce, or not?
I'll give it to you, but I forgot the part I just did, the most important part.
Here, I can,
Thank you, Bruce.
here's my email. Thank you.
All right. Okay, that's all we have signed up for town hall. So moving on. What's his name? Hank? Hank, I see you're here again with us. Nice to see you. Thank you. President's report. Let me, at this time, I'm barely up to speed and prepared because I just got back from 3 days in Springfield. My trip to Springfield was pretty exciting. Unlike most, I take personal letters and I speak personally with our legislators, our senators, and I meet them with the groups and individually. I was really pleased that Trustee Hussaini was able to come with me, get me out of trouble, as anyone that comes with me does. And so personally, I'd like to thank you, Trustee, for coming along. I was really worried because during Ramadan, you have to fast. And I didn't know if I could eat or fast. I wasn't too sure. He was very gracious and very supportive, and running around the Capitol building with me can be exhausting, can it not?
Has been.
Thank you.
Wait for my report.
I just wanted to say that. Additionally, this is the last meeting for Trustee Kemper. Trustee Kemper came to the village, and he's finishing his 3rd term.
Yes.
And he has contributed nicely. He is a conservative voice. He's an active voice. He has been wonderful bringing in many first-generation families from St. Anne's Guard Church and involving them in working with the community. It's exceptional hanging in there, Jim, that you have done, not only as trustee, but as, let me get this right, a knight? Knights of
Knights
Columbus?
of Columbus.
Yes.
Fourth degree,
And
Grand Knight for the Council at St. Anne's Guard.
isn't that wonderful? He is a great commitment to his community, to his church, and to his family, which is the reason he's stepping down to support his family as they are growing and looking for his support. So with that, I have a presentation for Jim. Come on, yeah, what the heck. You know me, we'll do this till we get it right. Now Herb's not here,
I know.
you know?
He's here.
He's up.
He's in the cloud.
He's in the cloud. I would love to have a photo with Jim and all the trustees. Bernie, join us. Juliana, if you'd like to join us. I have the certificate of appreciation to trustee James Kemper. And it will have a photo. You will have this wonderful sign.
Look at that. Wow.
Is that a beautiful thing?
It is.
And so each of the board members will sign that at the end of the meeting. And don't hang it too high, unless you fall off the ladder. No problem. That's an amazing thing. Take a step over and it's crowded in here, guys. Okay.
Well, I guess, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's a beautiful thing. Now, we're gonna have the Photoshop, trustee, Porter in. And trustee Porter hear us? Very good. So I'll tell you, walk the gauntlet. Shake the hands of all the trustees. See what, I know you want to say something.
All right, I'll say something. All right.
You get to say something or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, right. So, well, Hanover Park has been in my life since 1972. We moved here just after my 8th birthday. And shortly after that, Mayor Craig moved in across the street from me before he moved down, further down on Hawthorne. So Hanover Park, I've got a very long history with Hanover Park. Always proud to call Hanover Park my home. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve. And I'd like to recognize former trustee Ed Zimmel, and with the current board and the past boards that I've served with. It has been a great 12 years. A lot was accomplished. I couldn't be happier with what direction the Hanover Park is going in. I'm glad I could be a part of it. All the police officers and firefighters that I've seen sworn in over the last 12 years, it's been incredible. So, and it's been an honor to work with all the village manager and all the staff, those that are here now and those that from the past. It's been an honor, and I'm proud to be a part of what's been going on in Hanover Park. I may not be on the dais, but I'll still be around. I'll be with the Sister Cities Committee. Hopefully get appointed as well to the Veterans Committee.
Is that an appeal?
Huh? And periodically I'll stop by and just jaw jack for a while. So, but again, it's been an honor, it's been a privilege. I've many professional relationships that I built in those 12 years. Some I'd like to just call friendships. It's really been a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, let me come up. Good thing his name's not Krishnamurti. I don't even know if we can make a sign that long.
1, 2, 3.
4 or 5, 6.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. There you go.
All right, now back to business.
Well, this is the last night you can give us the business.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
What's my
I do have one question before we go on. After I've gone, who's going to carry the baton with the so moved?
It'll be me.
I think we decided it would be Herb Porter.
Okay. He should. He's going to be the senior trustee, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm good.
I can't talk that fast. I'll give you my best shot. Hey, Jim, I'm sorry I'm not there to share this moment with you.
No problem, Herb.
You know, you and I have come a long way to where I consider you one of my real good friends. So
likewise,
I just honor your participation on this board and for being your colleague for the last 8 years. And I know we'll be seeing a lot of each other. I'll come by your house
especially with Sister Cities,
and put my signature on that sign for you.
All right. And we complement each other well, Herb, I believe.
Yes, sir. We did.
All right.
It's been a beautiful thing seeing this board work together as it has, and I like the collaboration and working together. If any other trustee would like to say a word on behalf, to Jim from the dais, I would.
I'd like to say something.
All right, go ahead.
So
Is this
just
a roast?
no, no, I'm not going to do that to you. I just want to thank you because you welcomed me. You were the first to welcome me, and I remember you just gave me a big old hug, and I thought, okay, this guy's like the mayor. Like, we're going to be okay. And even though we disagreed on some things, we always decided to respect each other and somehow found a way to compromise for the better of the community. I just want to correct that you said that you wanted to be part of the Sister Cities. I believe you meant CIDC. That's all.
We'll work on that. I mean, I will
Thank you.
collaborate with CIDC for sure, so.
Anyone else?
Bob
Yes.
wants to say.
Yes.
When I
Go
first
ahead.
got on the board, you took me under your wing and showed me the ropes, and I appreciate it.
Thank
No problem, Bob. It was a pleasure.
Jim?
Yasmin?
Well, you've been my seatmate now for a
2
couple
years.
of
Yeah.
2 years, and it has just been a pleasure and an honor to sit next to you on this board and to serve with our fellow trustees. It seems that you do a lot of shepherding for a lot of us, because I too remember when I first started and we went out to breakfast and I was like, got any tips?
Yeah. I had a good mentor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your mentorship.
No problem.
and for your
And it's been a
leadership.
pleasure watching you grow in your position.
Yeah, thank you. It truly has been an honor serving alongside you. And thank you for what you will continue to do in the community with the committees that you'll join.
Very good. If you ever want to talk, let me know.
Okay.
Jim?
Say it.
I will greatly miss you on the board right here, but we have plans.
Yes, we
You
do,
know
sir.
that. And then we're gonna follow through with that plans. And I'll be happy that I'm gonna be seeing you out and learning a lot from you. And you have a lot to give, and you've always done that. So thank you.
Very much. Yeah, and I'll be setting a date with you shortly for
Excellent.
for our plans. It'll probably be the second weekend in May.
Yes. Good.
First weekend, I'll be out of town.
Very good. I was glad to hear everybody make those nice comments, beginning with her. And one thing I can say about this board, we have a heart for our community, so thank you. I'll move. I was going to go in a great detail about my trip, but I was in Springfield representing DuPage Mayor and Managers and the Illinois Municipal League. On Tuesday, I was there at a hearing on the local government distributive fund. Back in 2011, we fell from 10% to 6%. It bumped up and down, but basically sitting at the 6% mark since that time. We've been arguing, we've been cajoling, we've been suggesting, we've been doing everything but kicking the can down the road. And this time we came down very strongly. All the municipalities, there were, not all the municipalities, state, but all the councils of government came down. The Illinois Municipal League had speakers on every subject matter related to our communities and our need for return of those dollars to help support us into the future. It's a real yin-yang when you have a shortage that's affected Hanover Park, up to $25 million plus since that enabled. That means we fall behind on some of our projects, but I'm really pleased that we found a way to pay cash for our new fire station. But those are funds that some funds that could have probably been used in other places. So I made requests to help us get some supplement for that fire station. Paying cash saves us $4.3 million, but it affects us in other ways. So I'm an advocate for flat tax in a community. We've done that for 7 years. Thank you, Juliana. I don't know how you do it, but we have come a long way over the years, and I appreciate that, everybody working together and the board supporting that. But I'm able to relate those stories personally when I sit down with legislators. And I take personal letters on behalf of this village to up to 25 or 6 legislators who I've come to know, and 8 of them touch our community, 4 senators, 4 state reps. And the others I know for many years, bouncing around. Additionally, I thought that was successful. Hopefully we get a bump in the budget. The state provides a bump from where we're at, the 6.1418, whatever it is, so that we can apply that to our infrastructure, which is, we're at an age where we have a lot of water mains to replace, and those are not cheap. We just did all of Northway, and Trustee Lisa had to live through that. And it was a long project, a long summer project, but we finally got it done. And where we had problems where people hated the potholes, now we have problems with people speeding because the road is so nice. We got to get people to slow down there. But
maybe I should take the Maserati down that road.
But Hanover Park, I believe, is in a good place. We're not in a place like Schaumburg that gives $150 back to their residents, but they have Woodfield and they have revenue that we just don't have. I was down there with Tom Daly, the mayor, and I said, you got to share some of your revenue. How about splitting some of this? They all thought that was pretty funny. But doesn't mean I don't ask. Always looking for an edge. But with that, I have some wonderful reports. Mayor-elect from Chicago came down. He met with the leadership and a couple of the caucuses. I think the Latino caucus, Black caucus, a couple of the caucuses he met with. But he did understand the need for local government distributive fund, and he made a personal request to the governor. So whether that comes to fruition or not, it is certainly a need across the board. So with that, I'll move to approve by unanimous vote items on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Sorry, question.
Yes.
Was 7A15 removed?
It was not. Would you like to remove it?
So her,
He did remove it.
okay, Herb, are you there?
I have it in my notes.
7815.
Yes,
is
I'm here.
motion.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, do you?
Yeah,
I heard from Herb.
I would like to,
Herb, you want that removed?
yeah, I would like to, yes.
I heard from Herb earlier that he thought it would be smart to remove that item.
7A15.
So while it didn't get announced on the acceptance of the agenda, I will allow it. I'm trying to get us to do things under the acceptance of the agenda. And I understand Herb's request. So with that, the only item to be removed is 7815, a motion to authorize out-of-state travel for Trustee Porter to attend the National League of Cities National Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials, the NBC Leo, taking place on June 13th through 16th, 2023 in Jackson, Mississippi. And this is not your first trip there, is it not? Herb?
Not to this organization, it'd be my first trip to that location.
Oh,
But, yeah.
All right, very good. And then you,
I need to take a walk around this.
okay, so let's do do we have a motion and a second?
You've already had it.
We have the motion in a second.
Oh, okay. Any discussion?
We're just removing 7A15.
There's no discussion on the consent agenda. So 7A, so the consent agenda consists of 7A1 through 7A14, and that's what you're voting on.
Correct. Alrighty. Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Prigi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kemper?
Yes.
Great.
Very good. I was on a roll.
I know. Sorry. Now 7A15.
7815, motion to authorize, didn't I already read this? Motion to authorize out-of-state travel for Trustee Porter to attend the National League of Cities National Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials, NBC, Leo, taking place on June 13th through the 16th, 2023 in Jackson, Mississippi.
So moved.
Second.
Motion a second, any discussion? Hearing none. You want?
Yeah, there's discussion. I sent an email to the clerk to have that not removed just from the consent agenda, but from the agenda, from the old.
Huh?
So you want to remove
Because
completely from the
I
agenda?
no longer need.
You want to
Yes, I
remove
would
from
like
the
to.
agenda, Herb?
I would like to amend. Yes, I would like to remove from the full agenda, not just the consent agenda. So I would like to amend the motion so that item 7815 is removed from the agenda completely.
Got it.
Why doesn't the movement and the second withdraw their?
Yeah, I'll withdraw my motion.
Great.
Run second.
Okay, and the second withdrew it. So now there isn't any, and someone can make a motion to remove it from the agenda?
I motion to remove 7A15 from the agenda.
I'll second it.
We have motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none. I can do a voice vote?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Christie, call it roll.
Voice vote.
This is not
All
voice.
in favor, say aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
One of these days I'll learn this job.
7A16.
7816, motion to waive competitive bidding and accept the quote from Display Sales in an amount not to exceed $46,640 for the purchase of holiday decorations and authorize the village manager to execute the necessary documents. Requires 2/3 vote of the corporate authority.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Prigi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kemper?
Yes.
And Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Call the mayor, please.
Call the mayor.
Mr. Mayor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. 7A18, move to,
17.
what happened to 18? Oh, I see.
You're not there.
7A17, move to waive the competitive bid process and award the 2023 crack ceiling and parking lot maintenance project to Denier Inc. in the amount not to exceed $90,000 and authorize the village manager execute the necessary documents, requires a 2/3 vote.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second.
One question.
Question?
Yeah. So with this contract award, I noticed that we are partnering with the Village of Woodridge for this contract. Okay, that's what the memo says.
I believe we're taking the results of their process and negotiated that same rate they had received.
Could you say that one more time, Juliana?
Woodridge did a joint bid with several other communities. We were not a part of that group that was bidding it out, but, because it was actually last year. But we reached out to that group. They said that it was acceptable for us to join, be a partner of that, and to reach out to Denler, the contractor, directly, and Denler agreed to hold the prices from that contract for us.
Okay, so joining their bid process meant that we would essentially get lower prices than what they're currently providing?
I can't say that for certain, but these prices are lower than what we have gotten in the past.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Very good. Any other questions? Thank you, John. I'd like collaboration with the other municipalities. It always pays off. Christie, if you would call the roll.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kemper?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Priegi?
Yes.
And Mayor Craig?
Aye.
Thank you.
7A18, move to approve warrant for 2023 in the amount of $352,617.41.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on the warrant? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll, please.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kemper?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Priegi?
Yes.
And Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Thank you. 7A19, move to approve warrant paid in advance, 3/31/2023 through 4/13/2023, in the amount of $431,742.66.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Kemper?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Priegi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
And Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Village managers report.
First item is a wrap-up or a summary of the LORA program that the village participated in, and Manager Webb will be reviewing what took place.
It's a strange time. See if everything works here.
Hey.
It does, all right. It's a start. Well, thank you, Mayor Craig and Village Board. In the agenda, it says wrap-up, but I can say that this will not be a wrap-up of what we've learned at the process. We'll be taking much of this forward when we're reviewing our policies and reviewing issues. But it will just sort of put a ribbon on what we've been doing so far with the class and how we will move forward from here. Just real quick. Just quickly about the program. The pilot was developed for small and mid-size municipalities. It was started by the Metro Mayor's Caucus, the ILCMA, and the UIC Great Cities programs. Designed for them because generally those communities might be lacking in resources, skill, knowledge base, and things along that. So it was developed in order to do that. The structure of the program and the design of the program, it was a 6-month pilot program. And as I said, it was a pilot. It was designed for us to be a start. And we have been going forward doing evaluations and review with the instructors and with the various groups, and they're already planning what would be called like LORE 2.0, I guess would be the name. So they're looking at improving it based on what they did. We had a hybrid model in which it was remote classroom, small group, and then we had small group coaching, and then as well as our individual work after hours, doing all the readings, doing all the review of the information that we had, and then would bring it back to the classroom. The small group session was where we would get together with 2 other communities and an independent instructor to go over our project, and that was the 3rd element of this, which was our project, which I'll get into next. And then we could ask questions of the individual instructor about how we were doing, what they thought, were we proceeding properly with what we were doing. Some outcomes of the program is the curriculum is going to focus on internal organizational practices, including communications, human resource, and finance, depending on which kind of project you selected. As I think I passed this out to all the board members as we were going through it, but just as a recap, I think there are 14 other communities. You can see from a wide range of Illinois, in the area of Illinois, from Peoria all the way to us up to Lincolnshire. Each of these were the individual category groups that they chose for their projects, and as well as I believe I passed out what exactly our project was as we're moving along, but we're going to discuss it here as well. Our project, we named it, "What's it going to take," in quotes, to improve and enhance language accessibility for our residents. Just giving you some context and background for it. We made some, as part of the process and part of the things we learned is we made some basic assumptions that we wanted to either prove or disprove along the way and do some certain things, but the Village of Hanover Park demographics had changed greatly over the past 20 years. Effective communication with our residents had become more difficult due to increases in residents moving from Hanover Park who are not proficient in speaking English. And we wanted to take a review of our current communication practices, how we interacted with the community, and sort of do an audit. And the point of the audit would be to improve the communications. Enhancing and updating these communication practices will increase the resident satisfaction, as well as, because it's an internal process for us, increase our employee buy-in into the program and to be able to improve it as we moved along. About our process, we had several categories that we looked at. We started out with reviewing Hanover Park's demographics. We used our information that you've all heard from before from the 2020 census. We identified the languages most spoken in Hanover Park, and we used our census programs for that as well and got information directly from the Census Bureau. We reviewed language services data, and we use Voyance translation services here already at the village, which is one of the things that we were already doing. We were able to get a report from them. Every time an employee here can't help them themselves, or somebody who doesn't speak a language, we can call up the service uses it, and we got the information from them. That gave us a nice laser view of what residents were coming in that were using the service and the language that they were speaking. So we were able to review that data. We created an internal language committee. We took a representative from each department in the committee, from each department in the village, and got together and discussed all these basic things and the ways that we felt that we could improve. We reviewed the policies of area stakeholders that we did, including townships, libraries, and churches. We took a look at our as one of the issues was hiring and retention incentives as a possible thing. We wanted to review, should we be incentivizing maybe certain languages or making it more desirable for people to want to come here? We have a pretty strong, which we feel, current language proficiency program already, and we wanted to be able to update it. We knew it needed some updating, and we wanted to enhance it and put all of our changes in the village handbook. and feasibility of document and meeting translation. We wanted to take a look at making it easier maybe for resident that came in, if there's a common document that we had, that they could get into another language, make it easier for them to communicate with the village. Some analysis and recommendations. Based on the processes, we made recommendations for change, and that all came from our research, meeting with our group, and taking into consideration the challenges were obviously cost, staffing, effective and efficient government, and then our current union contracts. Most of the things that I'll be talking about here from our project will be for the non-union employees here. Union employees have contracts, and we would obviously have to negotiate those if we wanted to make any changes to those processes. So the changes that we're going to be implementing as part of our project. Our internal language access changes are going to be, we're removing in our language access or our language proficiency program, we had a lower level, and in speaking with our internal group and supervisors and just common knowledge, it was that the novice level really wasn't doing any good. It was basically people who could not hold a conversation. They would only could speak a few words. We had very few employees who had that already, and we wanted to take that level and move that to where we're going to compensate the upper level language people more, who are actually speaking with the residents who are coming in, dealing with the people more often, and sort of put the dollars where the work was being done. That goes into the second one, which is an increased stipend for the highest level of language proficiency. Our policy hadn't been updated in 20 years, so we wanted to take a look at the dollars for the people, and we raised the highest level amount. And those were the people who were doing the most translation, so we put the dollars there. Retesting skills, we weren't, under the old way, it was basically you tested and then your skills were never retested along the way. You had to almost come in and request it. So as part of the handbook changes, we're going to be doing frequent retesting. Two reasons for that is we want to make sure the people that we're paying are maintaining their skills, and if somebody is improving in their skills or takes courses or doing anything, move, and they have the opportunity to raise their level, and they're paid based on the amount of their proficiency in the language. So it gives them the opportunity to make more money as well. Before, we only had 2 languages that we paid the top dollars for, and that was based on 20 years ago when which was Spanish and Polish, and we've added Gujarati and Hindi to the languages, who will be paid at a top rate. So if you speak those 4 languages, you'll earn top dollars in speaking. We also pay for lower level languages, but they're not paid at the rate as these most common languages that we found that we were speaking here. We're going to amend the language access program in our policies and our handbook. We're in the process, annually we go through our handbook every year and do the changes, so all of those changes will be coming out this summer in our handbook. We're redlining the handbook now and making our changes like we do, changing out our vendors and things and some of the names that we have in there. Some other issues that we did is we wanted, in our group sessions, we talked to all the departments and wanted to get a small amount. We didn't want to get carried away with this, but a small amount of documents that we felt we could translate that are commonly used for our residents. And we're going to be putting those on our website, that if a resident is having trouble or needs a document, that they can view it in their own language as well. And then when it comes in, it'll go to our translators, and then we can translate that out as well.
Sorry to interrupt. What are some of those documents?
What's that?
What you said, the frequently used.
Like a Freedom of Information Act form.
Okay.
Things of that nature.
Thank
It would be basic forms. We're not going to get any technical documents like planning documents or anything, but just some of the basic information that comes through.
Okay, thank you.
Some additional measures we've implemented through our board meetings is now you can't listen in your own language now, but you can go on, and it was a common thing, and we've advertised this in our e-news and it's on our website, is if you go on, you can now, we have instructions on our website that guides residents. If you come in and listen to a taped version of the village board meeting, it instructs you how to go through YouTube and say you can put in your own language and then view a closed caption on your thing. So we felt that that was a nice thing to add. We are adding for this coming month, we're going to add our bi-monthly newsletter is going to be electronically translated into Spanish and will be placed on our website. It won't be mailed, but it'll be translated. And it's going to be done by our internal staff at our highest level proficiency. We're going to have educational assistance for language proficiency is also going to be an option. Currently, we pay educational dollars for individuals going back to school that are beneficial for the village. You can earn some money. We added with the proper documentation, if you want to take a language or increase your language skills, we will pay for that also. And one final thing is on our website, we're going to be coming out, it's in draft form right now, but we're going to have a DEI page which will list kind of all the things. We do a lot of things here at Hanover Park, and we wanted to be able to highlight all those things that we're doing, and that can adapt as we move along as well. Some reflections on the program that we had. The cohort was a very positive experience for us. I think getting together with other communities who are struggling in the same areas we were, getting together with other communities who are doing well and being able to talk to them and that we could share some of our ideas was a great experience for us. Getting together, being able to share policies, have our instructors look at what we're doing was a very positive experience. Problem solving, we learned a lot of models and management applications. One of the reflections I had on it is most of it really isn't like DEI related. It's just really how to take a problem and solve it. And the spin on it would be looking at it maybe from a different lens. But you could apply a lot of the techniques that we learned to any problem that we have and do it better than maybe we were doing it before. One other good thing is it was free. So you always like free, right? And there was no cost for the training, and I don't believe there'll be any cost for the trainings coming up further. I don't want to say this is a negative thing, but it was rather time intensive. It was basically like going to a college class on a certain level. We had a lot of course readings, travel time because we were going to the Naperville campus for Northern Illinois University. You know, once or twice a month, Barry? Twice a month, I believe, yeah. And then just doing the project and having homework like everyone does, and doing all the readings was rather time with our normal schedules and our normal work schedules. It was rather time intensive. That's kind of my wrap up. I'm here to take any questions if anyone has any.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Dave.
I have a question.
Sure.
So a lot of this is put in, this is awesome, by the way. Thank you for doing this. A lot of it is looking at putting, as increasing our services and making it more, more user-friendly. When we talk about paying higher level speakers, not so much novice anymore, are we talking about one in each department? Are we talking about customer service only? What?
Yeah, so every employee that comes through when they get their orientation, we tell them about the program, our language proficiency program, and we've more than likely identified it already because through the application process if they speak another language, but we would talk to them about that if we did not, and we have a testing service, a professional testing service, and we send them there. They get a written and oral and a translation rating from them, and based off of the rating, they can earn your level of pay, if that makes sense. So
they would be all over?
It could be from anywhere. Very often at Village Hall, if we don't have a Polish speaker, they might call the police department if it was usable, or somebody from the fire department. We do have our paid translation service where they can pick up the phone. If it wasn't, we don't want a customer to wait 20 minutes while a police officer comes over, but we can pick up the phone and within a couple minutes have somebody on the phone to translate too. But
yeah.
the human part of it is always a lot better than talking to somebody on the telephone if we can.
Yeah. I just want to be intentional in that, when somebody comes up, that person's available. I think about something that happened, I think it was last year or something, that someone called for an event and they were Spanish speaking and they couldn't get the information through. They ended up calling me at work. So, that they're readily available at the front desk.
We try. I mean, we always have the translation service there, and it's kind of just who's working that day. I don't think there's any way around that. And probably the police department has the most translators in them, followed by finance. I think would be the second. So finance being very, as well as the police department being very customer service related. That's a good thing. That's where we want those people because they're getting the counter service a lot.
So same subject, just a different angle on that, as to the languages that we picked, and there were Hindi, Gujarati, and what was the third one that?
We still have Spanish and Polish
And
from
there
the
was one
original.
more Indian language in there, that was Hindi, Gujarati, and what was
No,
the
that was
third?
it. That was just
That
those
was
two.
just two? Okay, so Hindi and Urdu go hand in hand. And the major difference is just Urdu is spoken by Muslims and Hindi is more national language, so everybody speaks that. So there's a huge, in a very similar language, but it's just to very touchy subject when you pick languages as to what was the study done, or is there any recommendation was made, or how was these two languages picked?
Yeah, we did it straight from our census, and we did 4. And you know, I think at some point we just drew a line, I think. But those were just based on census data. That's where we did it.
Okay. I just look into Urdu, I would say.
I will.
URDU. All right.
Yeah, and,
Question?
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, maybe going off of what, oh my God. Trustee
Hussaini?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Trustee Hussaini said, I think it's great that we were able to pull from so many different areas and kind of pull this data that showed us that these are now the 4 languages that are being used. But then when we add the cultural aspect, I think that's also important to recognize as well. So I hope that'll be considered just to when we are looking through this now lens of language access.
Yeah, and you know, the data was like 6 months old too, so with the census, it's kind of rolling too. As
Yeah.
it's we're getting more all the time, so we can continue to review and make recommendations based, and that's just how we did it.
And I just had a couple more questions. So you said that for the continual testing that we'll do, we just outsource that testing?
You're talking the language?
Yes.
Yes, we have a service.
Okay, so we will just go with someone. And then I would also like to thank you and just commend you and Barry for all your work on this. I know you said it was time intensive, but I mean, this is really great. I really think that this will be such a great benefit to our residents. But it's also many changes, and so did you have a time range for implementation? Was it?
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that because when we were going through the class, we almost started getting the impression like we had to have it done by the end of class. Every municipality quickly raised their hand and said, you know, government doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And I don't even think private companies can get something, all these changes, you know, a 200+ person organization is not going to happen. So we do have a timeline. We started getting into things like, well, we're changing the handbook. Well, why do a small change when we do our annual change? So I think we'll have most everything rolled out by the end of summer is our timeline
Wow.
right now, I think.
It's pretty fast.
You know, it just kind of depends how things roll, but a lot of it is really just getting it in the handbook for our employees to see and read and hear, and letting our employees know of the changes, getting the people into the, you know, for the testing, and letting them know what's going on, and then it's done. So, and a few of the things are already done, and then making our changes. But I think we have the end of the summer as our quote-unquote deadline,
Great.
we're hoping.
That's good to know. That's good to know. And then my last question was, these are, you know, this is a great deal of great changes. Did we have any outreach efforts in place to let our residents know about these great changes?
Yeah, I think that's going to be part of the rollout. Because
Okay.
we have a website coming out. We're going to have, you know, we've always posted our language, our separate language service that can be used for a lot of different things. But we'll be putting everything out in e-news, highlighter
Okay.
coming up. You know, those will all be our stories that we
Okay.
can let residents know.
Makes
I think
sense.
we just got to manipulate the website and look at and decide how we want to present it, and make sure, especially on some of the documents, we want to make sure that everyone's good with the documents, because it was a committee that recommended it, and we have all of our documents, but we just want to kind of make sure, and we also have to make sure if we have a document and somebody turns it in in another language, that we have somebody who can translate it on the other end, right? So, you know, there's a lot of like, you know, small little details that we just have to work out. But the nuts and bolts will all be done by the end of the summer.
Great.
I'm
Thank you
confident.
very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dave, and I know the source in our ability through the Mayor's Caucus, where Bill McLeod and I co-chair the Diversity Forum, when we brought this opportunity forward, I was really, you know, it was like, who's gonna be selected on that whole thing? So I was really pleased that Hanover Park was selected. Additionally, Highland Park and Lincolnwood are a couple of the mayors that I know that are thoughtful very much, like we have been, and support that. So I hope that relationship worked nicely for you and Barry. You were both out there, and so that's all good. So thank you very much. Any other questions? Hearing none. Juliana, did you have anything else?
We have closed session at the end, so, that's it.
We have closed session. All righty. Village Clerk's report?
Yeah, just a few things we have. The Kids at Hope Day is coming up here next Saturday, April 29th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So invite your friends, family, come join us over at the Hanover Park District. And then Market at the Metro is coming up quickly on May 13th from 9 to 2. We have about 45 vendors already signed up, but if you have any friends, family that would like to come, we would love to add more. That is all for me.
Thank you. And, you know, this is like, I don't know how many years we've been doing Kids at Hope. And it's a belief system that all children are capable of success with no exceptions. And it was initiated out of Fox School when the principal and the principal came up with the idea, and he said, "What do you think, Mr. Mayor?" And I think I like it because it's a challenge. It's a behavior of especially, as he was telling me way back then, for teachers, and when he hires somebody, do you believe that all children are capable of success without exception? And that makes a difference in the leadership within our schools, at least out of District 54, and the others have picked up on it over the years and have been very supportive. So I would encourage all our trustees to come by and see what we're up to. I have my veterans group that sends baskets, goodie baskets to our individuals that are in armed services overseas, and those goodie baskets, we put in letters from children thanking them for their service to our country, and so that'll be going on, and it's always a great event with the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the baseball, football, opportunities for youth, for moms and dads to see the opportunities within our community for the summer and working together. And I know Tricia Rossi has been working with me on this for years and just does an excellent job. I think they met today, and I, of course, wasn't there. Tuesday? Yeah, here I am goofing off in Springfield. But I was really pleased with a wonderful job she does facilitating that in our community. And schools really, really love it. So I encourage our trustees to come by, and I'm doing photos with the mayor this year, and we got that all organized.
I'll bring it all.
I tried it last year. I tried taking the photos and printing the cards, and I dug myself a hole I never got out of. But at least we tried. With that, Corporation Council report.
Bless you.
I'd just like to congratulate Trustee Jim Kemper on his 12 years of dedicated service to the village and on the village board, and also I believe the longest serving current trustee on the village board. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie.
Very good. Did you and Herb come out at the same time? No.
I came on before Herb, and then now when I'm done, Herb will be the senior trustee.
Very good. Can you handle that, Herb?
I'm going to give it my best shot. Those are big shoes to fill.
Thank you, my friend. All righty. where am I next? Trustee reports. Trustee Porter.
Thank you. I just have a couple of things because I'm uncomfortable giving a report over this phone line, so I'll give a full report at my next board meeting. I am currently at the NELROD conference for the Housing Authority of Cook County, which is a HUD, Housing and Urban Development Agency, and they operate under the auspices of the Illinois Department of Public Housing. So we're getting a lot of good information that will bring resources and help for Section 8 renters and providers in our town. And I know we have a lot of those, so I'm looking to bring back a lot of information on some of the changes that are going to be happening. Like I said, I will give the full report of the events that I attended. Well, I guess it's pretty short. Let me go ahead and do this. I attended Representative Musman's town hall on 4/11 at the Police Community Center. And as always, Representative Musman was full of answers and very quick to respond to the residents. There were about 12 residents, I think, that showed up to that, and myself. But it was very much appreciated that Representative Musman always chooses to give those town halls, or to at least give a town hall in Hanover Park, and I was very appreciative of her choosing us. On 4/13, I attended the Chamber, the Bartlett Hanover Park Area Chamber of Commerce breakfast, which was very well attended. Mayor Kevin of Bartlett and Mayor Rod Craig were both speakers, and both did an excellent job, and it was a very, very good coming together of the two chambers and all of the businesses that are a part of that to do that. Also on 4/13, I attended a meeting of CETA, who's looking to return to in-person meetings rather than the Zoom meetings we've been holding since COVID. So that was a good sign, because I think the in-person meetings are just so much more productive than the meetings by Zoom. Attended a meeting for Alignment of Collaborative for Education. Same thing, they're looking to go back to in-person meetings. Alignment is a very good resource for our educators in the area, for our school systems supporting U46, and I'm looking forward to our in-person meetings returning on that, as well as a Housing Authority of Cook County Board meeting that I attended, and they're looking to do collaboration with our Education WorkNet Center. So hopefully we'll have some information and can see some cross activities between the Housing Authority, our Section 8 renters and home providers, and our Education WorkNet Center. So there it is. I couldn't hold off. I gave it all to you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Porter. And you mentioned Representative Musman, and I was very pleased to spend time with her in Springfield and explain that the dollars that she got from us, 3 years ago, will come to fruition probably in May, and that's the safe crossing at our railroad station. So we'll have some kind of a really nice opportunity there to announce that, and I'm really pleased that's getting done.
I have one further thing, Mayor. I just also wanted to announce that Cook County Commissioner and Rep. Musman are host of a panel discussion on the opioid epidemic and its impact on the northwest suburbs. They're going to be specifically talking about fentanyl and the opioid epidemic, 6 to 7:30 on Thursday, April 27th at the Schaumburg Township District Library on Roselle Road.
Very good. We'll have to make a note of that in the manager's update so we all are aware. Without objection, I'd like to jump over James Kemper, let him have the last word. Hearing none objection, we'll do that. Trustee Bencoli?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mayor Craig and my fellow board members for the proclamation for Sikh Awareness Month. Also wanted to mention that it is also Arab American Heritage Month, and in the Chicagoland area, specifically in the southwest suburbs near Bridgeview, there is a very large Arab American population. Also wanted to thank Christy for her work on the Doggy Palooza event. Saw the pictures, they looked awesome. And thank you for your work on that, as well as the upcoming events, the Market of the Metra and the Kids at Hope. And last but not least, wanted to make sure that our businesses were aware that the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity has rolled out another round of the Back to Business grants. These grants are for restaurants, hotels, breweries, bars, the performing arts, and we have some of those types of businesses within the village. And so just want to make sure that these businesses are aware that this is a grant that's available to them. I understand that we frequently partner with organizations that are able to provide technical assistance. The application opened up earlier this month on April 5th, and it does close on May 10th. And that concludes my report.
Well, thank you very much. Trustee Briggy?
No report.
Thank you. Trustee Husani?
To sum it up the trip, all I could say is I'm happy to be alive. I think Mayor gets it. Well, there were 3 incidents that we almost got killed. Almost got killed. But thank God.
Specify.
Well,
Driving?
not watching the blind spot, like, that's not hard, but it's okay. Well, just watch it. But I thought the car was not appropriate. Well, making noise, yeah, there is some car needs fixing as well. I will blame it on that as well. But when I was driving back, it was fine. You know, the brake needs to be worked on. But it was very intense, driving there and getting back. I think if we need, the next time we need a chauffeur, I could drive. I won't hear that. But learned a lot with that trip, very intense. IML is always intense. Somebody needs to remind me this is IML again when I come in for this trip. It's every hour, there's a lot going on. And if it's Chicago, you can pass this meeting and go on to next one, but it's Springfield, so you're stuck. And Mayor, to say he's popular is an understatement. Everybody wants to get his attention, and then, going with the mayor is like, you just be alone, and that's it. But he tries his best to introduce people and stuff like that, but they have no interest or met me or have any meeting or anything like that, so I feel like there's a huge disconnect. Like, oh, good, okay, good to have a minority on your team. Oh, what was that comment? But it is what it is. So we get to meet all sorts of people when we get out there. So good exposure, get to meet all the senators and legislators, and I don't think I have met that many at the same time in my life. So that was a great experience to meet all of them, and especially who connects to Hannibal Park, Michelle Mosman, to Christina Castro, to St. Louis, and Mayor made an intentional effort to meet all of these people and make sure what was the agenda, topic of the agenda was LGBTF. I have not heard this term so many times, and somebody made a good comment on there that this is more used than LOL term. So, and all the other abbreviation, LGBTF is local government distributed fund, and how much local government has been affected by that. And when the mayor make a compliment to Juliana, I take it with highest regards to you on that, to maintain without the funds that we are, we used to get 10%, now we're getting 6%, and you're managing it with your surplus. So that speaks about a lot about you, Juliana. Ramadan ended today, so it was the last fasting day. I'm so happy I could start eating anytime I want, starting tomorrow. And this time, usually when the sun goes down, this is a big celebration in India when we all go out and look at the crescent moon and celebrate that the Ramadan has ended and stuff like that. But this is a responsibility too, so I'd rather be here right now. But tomorrow I could start eating, that is enough for me. So happy Ramadan and Eid to all the fellow and who celebrates. And the mayor mentioned something that has disturbed me. I have to mention it. That this is the last meeting we're going to have in this setup, and our friend Jim is leaving, and he's deciding to move all the trustees wherever he wants. I think that's too much power that I give to him. No, ask me before you move me. That should be a rule set. And then when I said to Mayor, the mayor has spoken, well, that doesn't fit very well with me. When the mayor has spoken, well, I have a say in it as to where I want to sit. So is there any way around it?
I'll just say it always works out well.
It does?
Yes.
No, but it just,
I mean, it worked out
just
well.
my friend. I know. The voting trust.
Are you making a motion? I'll second it.
All right. I make a move that we should stay the way we are, and then John should take the seat of Jim Kemper. Second it.
It's not a motion, I can be.
I second. Is there a third?
I third.
I think you should leave it for discussion at the next board meeting.
Well, we made a move.
The mayor has history here.
Any discussion?
I put great thought into this thing, so trust me. I know you'll be very happy. So anyway, moving on. Are you finished?
Oh, did I?
Are you finished?
So, yeah.
Yeah? Is that a yeah? Are you finished?
I'm looking at attorney.
Huh?
I'm just taking it lightly. Attorney is with us, so.
She's not moving.
Oh, who's not moving?
I'm not moving.
Who? Oh, she's not moving. Not moving means from her seat. Not means making a move, yes. I'm making the move. She's saying second. So there is a move and a second here.
I think you're out of order.
Wasn't on the agenda, right? No, it doesn't have to be, I guess.
I know you have to get that off your chest.
Yes.
But I want to tell you how much I enjoyed you joining me on this trip to Springfield. You're as good of a passenger as I am. I get nervous being a passenger, and you match my nervousness.
I know, I was feeling it.
We were doing just fine. Although you did bring up, we have a muffler issue
Yes.
and a brakes
too.
issue. Yeah.
The whole SUV problems, with the brake.
Anyway, I want to thank you for coming along. I thought the experience was excellent. And did I wear you out? Anybody that's gone there with me, I tend to wear them out. If-
And keep asking him to take a break, and he won't take a break.
It was an enjoyable trip. Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes, I'll be brief. I'm happy to report that as of Monday, all of the clients that I was attending to, I guess, asylum seekers at the Wheeling Hotel that I know this town supported as well and our township supported have been housed, and I no longer have to go back to that hotel. So 165 people have been housed, and the state is doing a great job at closing hotels. And I don't think we will be going back to the hotel business if Title 42 goes away. But I'm just glad I'm out of there. Two important things. CIDC met this last week, and we had a great meeting, and we're looking at being intentional with our celebrations each month. We're wearing our poor staff liaison. We're driving him crazy with all of our ideas. But we're trying to be intentional in what we do, and I like the energy that we have. And we had a quorum again so that's exciting. And one of the events we're having is May 20th is the MLK Build-Up Day. And folks, it's already filled, but we really need help with cleanup. So if people can show up to help with cleanup, that would be wonderful. And I believe this is the last of the painting of the fences. Yes? Okay, yes. And so hopefully we'll go on to something else, another project. I'm also very thrilled, very excited, because I've been hunting for this since I was placed in the historic, or as we like to call ourselves, the hysterical committee. We've been looking for the Anna Merrick stained glass flower from her home. And I've been asking, and Officer Pini has been helping me.
And begging.
And we've been begging, and I went through some boxes. There must have come from a fire and just really bad stuff. I should have had a hazmat suit. I couldn't find them. So fast forward a couple of months later, I mentioned this to the mayor. He makes a phone call, and he finds it immediately. It has been, when did you appoint me to the historic committee? Since I got appointed to the historic committee, I've been looking for this. He makes one phone call, and they find it. And I'm so excited, because next Tuesday, April 25th, it might be in pieces, but oh my God, we're gonna unbox that thing. So if you're looking for something exciting to do, join the historic committee next Tuesday, 6 p.m., April 25th, right here. And Trustee Kemper, you will be greatly missed. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I was glad, I didn't know you were looking for that. But I'm always pleased to support a trustee in need. Oh, my goodness. This is a lovely evening, and last but not least, Trustee Kemper, if you would.
If I would. All right. First, I'd like to hope that everybody had a good Passover, Easter, Ramadan. Syed, enjoy your feast tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the festival of food, right? And I've been to an Eid before, and excellent food always, right? So, yes. I was a little late getting to our Veterans Committee meeting last, at the beginning of this month. But our Memorial Day service is all good to go. We have our guest speaker. I look forward to being there in an unofficial capacity, but I will be there nonetheless. My backyard has become a nature sanctuary. I have rabbits. One we didn't name, and I just got a text from my wife. She's currently nursing her babies. So we have 4 baby bunnies in a hutch that she decided to put right up next to our house, so it's not in the grass. We don't have to worry about the landscapers coming in and with their lawnmowers and scaring them, right? So, but no, that was rather interesting. It's been fun to watch, actually. So, but I think they're attached to our yard, unfortunately. So, but on to some other things. Again, it has been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to work with each one of you and with the staff. It's been an incredible 12 years. I'm not done yet. We got a little business to talk about one more time before I walk out, and hopefully I hear something I really want to hear. I made a lot of good relationships. I hope they stay on both the elected side and on the village side with the staff and with some of our police officers, our firefighters, and our public works, and other people in other departments. I will be, beginning May 1st, doing plumbing inspections in Hanover Park with Safeco.
Oh my God.
So I don't know how many times I'll be here, but I will be. So when I do come in, I will make sure to stop in and talk to whoever I can before I head back on the road. More than likely, it'll be afternoon inspections because I can end my day here, which would be great. So I'm looking forward to that. I know Safe Built is also looking forward to that because they actually tried scheduling inspections already this week, and I'm like, you guys, it's May 1st. So, but I look forward to continuing to serve Hanover Park in another capacity. So with that, again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure, Jim, a real pleasure, and nice balance on our board. So with that, I'll move to an executive session, section 2C6, setting a price for a sale of property owned by the Village of Hanover Park.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Kemper?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Prigi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
And Trustee Porter?
And we will not be returning. Thank you all very much. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
8:45.
Tom, you got a second?
Trustee Porter.
You got a second?
Is now exiting.
He is not. He has a meeting at 7 p.m. I don't know where he's at.